I'd like to thank all of you for being here and giving your time. My name is Gopal Chakravarti, and I am the CEO of Vattikuti Technologies, a company that distributes the Da Vinci Robo in India. Mr. Raj Vattikuti here set up a foundation, which is called the Vattikuti Foundation. And one of the activities that the foundation did was in promoting robotics for cancer and other surgery, because we felt that robots are the most technologically advanced tools for performing these surgeries, and they wanted to encourage robotics in surgery. So robotic surgery was brought forth by Vattikuti Urology by establishing a urological institute inside the Ford Hospital in Detroit, which is the hometown for Mr. Vattikuti. And from there, we started spreading it to Europe by having a training center in Europe. And when we came to India, it was found that the number of robots in India was very few, and a robotic program, which means encouraging robotics, use of robots by surgeons such as these eminent surgeons around me, was not possible unless there were enough robots available in the country. The foundation approached the company which makes the robo, Intuitive Surgicals. They suggested that we take on the distribution of the robo in India, and it is for this purpose that Vattikuti Technologies was established as a company which distributes the robo in India. So our goal is to have 100 robotic systems in place by 2020, and the supporting surgeons to be trained, etc. The Vattikuti Foundation will take a large part of that in doing that. So that's what we wanted to tell you about. And now you will hear from Raj about what the Vattikuti Foundation is doing, and from each of the surgeons how they perceive robotics to be in this country. Raj Vattikuti is an entrepreneur from Midwest America. So he's an engineer from India. He graduated from Anna University in Chennai, then went for his MS in Michigan. Since then, last 40 odd years, he's been living in Michigan. He, after a short stint of working in Chrysler Corporation, he set up his own companies, became an entrepreneur, set up software companies, right? That's his, IT is his forte. That's where his entrepreneurial ability started. So he established IT companies in America, sold a company to Computer Science Corporation, and has reinvented some other IT companies currently. So he currently has an IT company based out of the US, but also having operations in India out of Bangalore. We have a payment systems company which works on mobile technology, which helps banks collect and pay money and reach the rural population. A set of entrepreneur companies is what Raj is well known for. But from 1997 to 2000 onwards, he's been the best known philanthropist from Midwest. He's been contributing to two main areas. One is this for robotic surgery as in the medical field, where he believes technology and skill and medical care come together, and this is the best solution. And the second part is poverty alleviation in India, where he's got a program. The foundation is funding a program for in Tumkur district in Karnataka, where they're trying to work on poverty alleviation. So those are his interests. I'll now ask Raj to talk to you.
Thanks, Gopal. Appreciate all of you coming, taking time. And this robotic program is very near and dear to me from day one. When we were the first one in the world, really, to the Urology Institute in the US has actually done the prostate surgery using robot. And those days it took almost 12 hours in the first surgery. Now we can do it in half an hour. And it's been remarkable since then. The world has recognized how well this technology can help, not only for urology, but also for gynecology, but in generally any type of cancer areas. And so we have been not only just started the first one, this procedure, the foundation has instituted a lot of training. We have close to 85 fellows. We train them in this technology. These are all extraordinary people. And now they have moved into some of the bigger hospitals and where they're doing, and they're expanding the program. these fellows are around the world. And so initially, even though we started in the US, then we started working in Europe and the UK, and really helped to expand the program. Many ways we've done, not only training the people, but the conferences, research, publications, whole areas, the outcome aspects of the robotic surgery. And so when we saw the opportunity in terms of the surgery, how they're done, and also the cancer, the incidence are so high in India, and how we can bring this technology. So initially, the perception in this market is very expensive and very difficult to really bring the program. So we try to do it by doing pay-per-use, some of the ways we can make sure that the people start seeing the value. And top of that, how do we bring the price down so that we can help to reach out to more economic these are people who really couldn't afford this. And so we have initially we have great surgeons who are sitting here, done a phenomenal job showing to the world how well this can be done. And so with their help, now we're bringing more and more surgeons into this ecosystem. So we have about 190 surgeons well versed with this robotic surgery in India today, and we'll keep on adding them. So then we thought not only the big cities, how do we bring this to the tier 2, tier 3 cities also? And that's why this program was now announced in this more, not only economical way of doing it, but also making sure we build enough surgeons around the country who can do this program. So the foundation is very committed to make that happen. And on top of that, foundation also committed to see how we can help to fund some of the people who really cannot afford to do this surgery. So, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask us, but we're very much committed to this program. I think India, we hope within the next 2-3 years will be the second largest robotic program in the world after the United States. Thank you for coming.
I have been with robotic program and using robots since 2006 when we started our robotic program, and have been with the robotic program, especially in urology. And actually, you know, the first procedure which was shown as having advantage, or first procedure performed robotically and which was accepted worldwide, was in urology. So urology has been in the forefront a user of robotic surgery. And ever since the first procedure, you know, it was done in 1999 at Henry Ford Hospital by the Vattikuti Urology Institute. And gradually it has spread world over. You know, within 4 years probably, there was no center in the world which was performing, not performing radical prostatectomy or a procedure for cancer of the prostate without a robot. So it was accepted worldwide. And then gradually from there, you know, all urological cancers and all urology reconstructive procedures, they have been, any procedure which was being done laparoscopically or minimally invasively has got gradually transferred to the robotic platform worldwide.
I must say that good is the enemy of the great. When we started our laparoscopic surgery way back in 94, 95, Arun Prasad and us, then we used to do a lot of laparoscopic cholecystectomies, hernias, and any kind of surgeries which were being done by open surgery, but then we could convert it into laparoscopic surgery, and we pioneered many procedures, and because the drive was there in the patients. And in way back in 2000, when the robotic surgery came into the world, when robotic prostatectomy was being done, so we were interested in that. And for last 2012, we have been doing our robotic program in Gangaram Hospital. Our main thrust has been on robotic bariatric. We have been tackling those kind of patients who are super obese. Super obese means BMI, body mass index, more than 50, more than 60, more than 80. So those kind of patients could not be tackled by the surgeons by laparoscopic method. Why? because laparoscopy had the rigid instrumentation. Whereas you could see in a video also in robotic surgery, the flexibility of the instrumentation is there. It is a three-dimensional. It has a beautiful platform to work with. And it is a solo surgery with a team. So good is the enemy of great. And all of us, all the surgeons were not satisfied being only good.
So when it comes to the future of surgery, okay, agreed, surgery has reached a particular stage. What do we want? If you remember, there were times when doctors used to feel the pulse and make a diagnosis. Feel the pulse, aapko ye bimari hai. Now, this kind of medical science was, I'm sure, successful in its own days. But today, what do we want? We want zero error, or at least close to zero error. So technology and computer, because robot is nothing but computer-assisted surgery. This is going to take us close to reducing error. So it is improving the current surgery by reducing surgical errors, because the kind of stitching we can do with the 3D vision, the kind of movements of the fingers, like my fingers can only move in this direction. I can't move my finger backwards or sideways. Whereas the robotic fingers, if you see, it can move in 360 degrees. So this is what reduces errors, reduces bleeding, reduces leaks and complications, and to try and reduce to the zero error. So that is number one. One is to improve current results. Number two, things like radical prostatectomy. It's almost impossible to do it by any other method than robotic surgery, what Dr. Alawat does today.
To put the minimally invasive surgery in a cancer patient, first goal is to, give the cancer control as it is equal to open. If you do use a minimally invasive surgery like laparoscopy or robotic, first goal is to produce same results what you are doing as open surgery. So in 96 when Rajiv Gandhi came, since there I'm there, now it's almost 20 years. And laparoscopy came in the field, and it was hard to pick up for a cancer patient, because many time I thought that probably I'll not be justifying, especially learning on a cancer patient. That was, inside I will think that probably I'll not do the same job as I'm doing as open surgeon. And with great difficulty, after going to few centers, I picked up radical nephrectomy. And in 2011, we got this robot by management, after having a lot of discussion and all. And the robot, once it came, I could use in all the cancer surgery which I am doing today, almost same, equally effectively as I was doing open, rather at some places is better job than the open surgery.
So one of the main things I want to highlight is besides the technology, and the most important, this is only a tool, but the surgeons are the most important. So we have such a great surgeons here able. So we need to make sure we have enough of these surgeons who not only believe in it, committed, and ability to do very effectively. And that's one of the main goals for the foundation, to make sure recognize those type of surgeons and making sure we provide all the tools required, not only for training, but also come up to speed very quickly. So to start with, the main initial training is required is basic motor skills using on the animal. So we're starting the training center within the next 4 weeks in India, so that the surgeons don't have to travel abroad and get this basic certification that they can really use the robot. And then we're in the process of establishing 2 centers where we call, there's another console, not only the actual surgeon who's doing the surgery, the other surgeon can participate from the console so that they can actually learn the surgeries very quickly. Thank you, please.
Country to do that. You all have a copy of that in the handout that we've already given. You can hold them up.
Okay.